Happy Friday night live. How are you? I'm so happy to do the Friday nights with you together. And it is very, very great, of course. Hopefully, you are still here with me because today is Halloween. Happy Halloween. So interesting that I don't know, what 10 years ago I would really celebrate with all the costumes, but I don't feel like to anymore. So I'd rather talk to you about the events that's happening in the United States and worldwide, so that to keep you informed about everything what's going on behind the scenes that nobody's really talking about. And I keep following every single day the news, one after the other. And the elections are coming up on the 4th, and I just literally cannot believe that the focus is there's so much destruction all over, and I really do not feel at all that people are in the United States are feeling the danger and feeling the importance of these upcoming midterm elections. Let me tell you this. These midterm elections are the key. Let me tell you this again. The key for our future. United States and the world. This really depends, makes a huge difference whether or not we will crash economically. And number two, it will really depends on whether or not we will actually ignite the World War III. Listen to me, I'm serious about this. 2 reasons why you must take these midterms elections on the 4th very, very, very seriously. It's because, again, this really will make or break whether or not the economy will full-blown crash, and we'll talk about this. And number 2 will whether or not we will ignite the World War III. And I talked in very length about the economy and the World War III and also the civil war in my Sunday lives on February 16, and I did it again. And important part is that we have to make sure, if you're living in the United States, and we're just not talking about the United States, we will talk global. So if you are watching from anywhere in the world right now, this applies to you as well. If you have election in your country, write down in the chat which country are you watching for and from, and also whether or not you have an election coming up. Okay, so what we were going to do step by step today, we will talk about the economy, okay, and what's really going on. And then we will talk about number 2, healthcare, what's really going on. And then we will talk about this crisis in Sudan, which is unreal, guys. Nobody talks about this. Does any media talks about Sudan? What happened in Sudan is just literally yesterday. What happened in Sudan is unreal. Okay, and Honduras, great. So is there any kind of upheaval in Sudan? Or is there any kind of issues with the people raising up? Because we will also, after Sudan, we will talk about Tanzania. And what's going on in Tanzania? I already mentioned before what happened in Nepal and what happened in Madagascar, right? Now we will talk today about the crises in Sudan and in Tanzania. But before that, I would like to talk about, let's get started. Okay, what time is it? 4:38. Let's talk about the healthcare, the US and global economy, okay? So as I mentioned in my Sunday lives, is that right now, from November, okay, listen to this, get a calendar and mark my words, okay? Yeah, talk about Palestine. So yeah, we talked a lot about Palestine all the time. If we have the time, we will talk about this. Otherwise, we will do another live stream for that, okay? So, and tell me also in the comment what specifically do you want me to talk about. Because we are talking about here things that the media doesn't talk about or nobody talks about, okay? That's what I bring out. And if there's any specific you want me to talk about, what you know, give me the tip, you know, but others don't, I will research and we will talk about that, okay? So as I mentioned, from now, November, until next April, there will be, for the last time, because for the last 7 years, we had the economy shakeup, right? The economy is it's off the scale, right? Completely a mess for the last 7 years, right? Masjid al-Aqsa. Okay, let me just write that down. From where are you writing? Oh, from where are you watching me? Oh, you mean the history? Ah, I see. Okay. That's very interesting. So this is actually very, Hamza, this is such an interesting topic because I was thinking a lot about to talk about this because many people don't understand the religious history, the religious history, right? The Christianity history, Judaism history, and Islam history, like history. And I'm fascinated about that. I know exactly where what it is. I even have, I can even show you a DVD right here. Hold on. I mean, I was thinking for a really long time to talk about this, to explain the people the history, because it's so important. It's just, let's get out of the politics. Let's talk about history, right? Let's learn the history. And for what I found, it's so just very like, okay, this is like out of topic, okay, out of topic. But I just want to make sure, just because Hamza, we would get in touch. Well, just what Hamza just mentioned, like just talk about the history, how everything just happened like that, right? So nobody understands this, and I'm very passionate about this. And one day, I will make a video on this, right? So when in the time when the Byzantine Empire, right? The Byzantine Empire, which is Christianity. Byzantine Empire wanted to spread the Christianity, correct? And during the same time, the Ottoman Empire was spreading Islam, right? From the east. So the Byzantine Empire come from the north, and the Ottoman Empire spreading Islam coming from the east all the way towards Europe, right? That's why the southern Spain has a lot of mosques, historical mosques, because the Byzantine Empire and the Ottoman Empire, Christianity and Islam met in Spain. Northern Spain, Byzantine Empire, and southern Spain was under Ottoman Empire, Islam. Before then, before the Muslims, like the Ottoman Empire would come towards, from all the way North Africa, all the way towards mid Spain, the Byzantine Empire would kill the Jews, okay? Would kill, would capture the Jews, and they would fear and they would hide, okay? And now, what did the Ottoman Empire do? As they came, they would hide the Jews from the Byzantine Empire. They would save them. And it's all over history. I don't make this stuff up. You can watch it, you can read it everywhere. It is known fact. It is a known fact that back in that time when Byzantine Empire and Ottoman Empire clashing together, the Byzantine Empire would actually kill and capture the Jews. The Jews were very much so minority. They were very much so minority, had no power to fight, or they had no any type of army or anything like that. They would hide and hide and hide, but the Byzantine Empire would go out with all the equipment, right? All the swords and equipment, and with a gigantic army. And the same, the Ottoman Empire. But not the Jews. The Jews were like in the villages just living and doing business. So what the Ottoman Empire did, as they captured, then they clashed together with the Byzantine Empire, and they really hid the Jews in the villages, in their tiny homes or some secret places. And they were rescued them from the Byzantine Empire. But then what happened? Then when the Ottoman Empire got larger and larger and bigger, they decided, what should we do with all the Jews? What did they do? They did actually realized the Jews were extremely great in economy, in like selling and buying and selling. And that's why they decided, we will keep them and you integrate them into our society so that they can be the handlers of the sellers, right? The people who are the small businesses, basically buying and selling and food and bread and all of these things. So they were all of the clothing and the fabrics, etc. at that time. So the Jews under Ottoman Empire would thrive and became businessmen, like really doing the trade. That's what the word is, the trade. They were good in trading, and that's why the Ottoman Empire said, okay, you know what, they're good in trading, they can be useful, so let's keep them and let's do them actually trade and integrate into society, rather than we capture them as a different religion. And since then, the Jews, the Orthodox, all would live under the Ottoman Empire, obviously, because the Ottoman Empire were like all over, right? The Orthodox, the North, the South, the West, they were all combined, all the cultures, because they also get them as a slave, whatever, in the empire, and get them and give them jobs and do the things, right, as a helpers and whatever. And the Jews specifically, their task was to continue with the trade, and so that's a known thing. It's a known historical thing. Nobody can say otherwise, because it's a fact. And that's how, since then, even after the Ottoman Empire went down, and then the Turkish Republic was born, since then the Christians, the Orthodox, the Jews were all living in what's now Turkey. I personally have Rum Orthodox friends, and they are Turkish. They were born in Turkey, they are Turkish, but their religion is Rum Orthodox. I grew up with them. So that's why I'm saying is it's a known fact, and that's why it bothers me, and there's so much that nobody knows history, and everyone is literally following the news, following the politics, following the fakeness of everything without opening a goddamn book and read the goddamn history. It is now turning the Jews against the Muslims is surreal. It's actually surreal because the Muslims did the opposite. They protected the Jews from the Christians. Now the Jews, and not the Jews actually, but the Israel government is now actually killing the Muslims and the Christians. This has nothing to do with Judaism though. I'm pretty sure the Jews, the actual religious Jews, would say, this is history. Like, why can we are always lived for history, for ancient time together. But it's all politics, and we have to separate the two. Let me give you a second fact. This is religion facts, okay? That the first was historical fact. The second is a religious fact. If any one of you or anyone watching this video, hopefully you are all my subscribers, subscribe, okay, like, all that, and share, because nobody's talking about this. And on my channel, I only talk about things that nobody talks about because people just open the goddamn book. So if you studied Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, you would see the rules, right? The religious rules, that Christianity is a little bit different, but the Judaism and Islam is pretty much similar. Let me give you an example. In Christianity, you can drink alcohol, right? This is on the church. They give you here, drink, like here's the wine, and the wine represents the red wine, the blood of Jesus, right? And they give you this cracker, which is supposed to be the flesh, or the bread is the flesh of Jesus. And also Christians eating pig meat, right? However, in Islam, absolutely no way you can drink alcohol. And you can also not eat pig meat. Similar, identical in the Jew religion, in Judaism, they can also not drink alcohol, and definitely 100% cannot eat pig meat. Another example, when the Christians go to church, they can go to church as they wish. Not in Islam and not in Judaism. In Islam, when you go to the mosque, the women must cover the head, correct? And the appropriate clothing. In Judaism, when they go to synagogue, the women must also cover their head and also have appropriate clothing. Those are the minimum similarities of the religions. So the way it is, the rules are pretty much similar, and I know this since I was 12 years old. I studied this in school, in books, in religion books. I mean, I know this since I was 12 years old. And imagine I lived through the entire world and life knowing this and seeing what's going on in reality. It's unreal. That's why I'm focusing so much on this channel on knowledge. Knowledge is power, and I don't want you to fall into this trap of the politics, of the fakeness of the politics, of the politicians, of the fakeness of the politicians, and also what's going on, the fakeness in the media. Follow me. If you haven't already, subscribe. And this is the truth, and everyone should know about the truth. On this channel, we only discuss the truth, nothing but the truth. Okay? So I appreciate Hamza asking this question, which finally, after years, I'm finally able to say it. So this is now the video that I wanted to make for so long. There you go. Thank you, Hamza, for that. Great question. So hi, everybody who is all here. So south of Spain, the Ottoman Empire came all the way from the east through North Africa all the way to South Spain until the middle of the Spain, because they hit by the Byzantine Empire, who came from the north. So they got literally hit to each other in literally myth. North Byzantine, South Ottoman Empire. That's why, as I said, this South Spain is known for this great historical mosques from that time. So that's a known fact. That's why it's so touristic. It's very, very touristic. I also want to visit, and that famous mosques over there, and the architecture is totally different, and that's because of this, okay, the influence of that. But then the Byzantine Empire were stronger and pushed the Ottoman Empire back down, and that's why if the Ottoman Empire would have succeeded, then they were able to conquer Europe, but they couldn't. Okay, so that's that. So hi, everybody. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. So now, thank you so much for this question. It was awesome. Loved it. Thank you so much, Hamza, for that. And I hope this was helpful. And so now we'll talk about the US as I continue to talk about the US economy and the world economy. Okay, 2254. So economy. Again, as I said, from now November until next year's April, the last time in our lifetime, we will see the economy going haywire. This will be a world economy reset. Mark my words. Okay, write it down. Dr. Sahin said that this is the last time in our lifetime that from now on, November, all the way until April next year, the world economy will be reshaken, reshuffled, and reset. But then, guys, I'm telling you, listen to me. From that time on, from then April, May onwards until the next 4 to 6 years, there is 2 possibilities. One will happen for sure. The other one, I'm not so sure. But one will happen for sure, and that is civil war. Full stop. On the US level and on the world level, which we already see in now Tanzania, happened today, this morning. In Tanzania, in Nepal, in Madagascar, in Turkey, in United States. All the rallies, all the demonstrations, all the upheaval is all about this. And this was just the foreplay, just this big, small window to show you what will come next for the next 4 to 6 years. Why? As I talked about this in my Sunday lives on Sunday mornings in my live stream, and I mentioned this on February 16, 2025 in that video. You can go ahead and watch that, okay? But also, you need to understand, why is this happening? Or before that, let me tell you this, the second possible thing, which I am not so sure, I'm just go 50-50 on that, is the actual war that leads to World War III. I am less inclined to that. Why? Because this time the people will win. It's the time for people to win. That's why 100% it will be civil war. And the people will not allow the countries to start war, to ignite World War III. That's my prediction. Mark my words. Today is Halloween, October 31st, 2025. I said that, okay? So, and the thing what's happening here is that the reason I also think that upheaval will continue to rise for the next 4 to 6 years is because the economy is going crazy right now. We will see the headlines. Federal Reserve cuts interest rates for the second time this year amid economic uncertainty. The second headline, US-China trade tensions and oil sanctions with Russia, right? So United States cuts the oil spread from Russia, which is a big deal, okay? A huge deal. Sanctions cloud global growth prospects. The third headline, tech investments surges as AI-related layoffs rise, creating a mixed labor market picture. We'll talk about another video, mark it here, subscribe, about the AI bubble. We are in an AI bubble and that will burst in a serious way. Okay, that's that. Headline number 4, US government shutdown drags on. The longest right now in the US history, 31 days. The government is shut down, and I even saw myself with my own eyes when I wanted to submit a consumer complaint. The website is down. The government website is down, saying go to the government shutdown, sorry, go away. Okay, the fifth headline, global growth outlook weakens as inflation stays above target and risks abound. Okay, so here's the thing. So here's also, before I'm going to continue this, I see there is somebody writes, and I don't understand, guys. So here's the thing. When I do live streams on the evenings, Turkish people from Turkey, clearly, who understands English, okay, understands English because they're here watching me, and then they keep saying, hey, speak Turkish. Why you are here? You understand Turkish, right? English, right? Because you're watching me, I follow you, I didn't pay attention, but I see what you're doing here. So are you not sleeping? Are you not sleeping? So it is 9 p.m. here, 9 p.m. here in the United States, and there's 7 hours time difference between here and Turkey. So what time is it then? In Turkey, it is 7, it's like literally 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Okay. What are you doing? Why are you not sleeping? And then Turkish people get sick and are all in the hospitals and smoke, drink, right? Why are you, and then take 10 different medications, all of the heart disease and all of the diseases, but then they're hanging out at 4 a.m. on YouTube speaking to somebody who speaks has an English channel and speaks English, and then come here, speak Turkish, why you're not speaking Turkish? Go to a Turkish speaking channel, okay? I'm not speaking Turkish, but you understand English, so you can either continue watching or go to bed, sleep, okay? All right, so let's continue. So, and again, this is not just one person, it's all the time on Friday night. The same time when I do these lives, there's Turkish people from Turkey hanging on here at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in their countries. That's not healthy. That's really not healthy. And I'm pretty sure you are young, okay? Don't do this. Don't do this. You will get a heart attack, heart disease, kidney disease, diabetes, okay? Neurological problems. It's not good. Sleep, okay? Sleep. So what happens here is the critical points we have to figure out here is the inflation. The inflation rate has been announced. It's insane. The United States economy, like the debt of the United States, is going skyrocketing right now, and it's spending so much that it does bring it in. And the more the government shuts down, the deficit of the United States going to skyrocket, okay? And this is escalating the more we are in the shutdown. So this is another thing, is that the AI, like the tech gigantic layoffs, like 300,000, 100,000, 500, I don't know, 50,000, 5,000, 1,000 of all the gigantic tech companies, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, I don't know if Apple is in there, but the gigantic Oracle, they all are laying off like, I don't know, chicken, okay? They are laying off their workers in a full speed. This is serious stuff, guys. That's why we have to make sure Hi, Amber. How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So, how are you doing? And Hamza, wow, I never knew about this. I'm going to research and read about it. Please tell more. Fantastic. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I thank you for asking. Absolutely. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. How are you? So again, the AI, the layoffs, the more we are in shutdown, and the more people are not understanding the AI bubble we are in, and apparently this really turns into a big fat Ponzi scheme because and what's going on with OpenAI is unreal. Actually, the OpenAI is turning now from non-profit into open AI. That's the name, open to the public. Turns now into gets prepared to turn into a for-profit business, but it spends so much more than it actually makes, and makes the deals with Nvidia and other companies, signing multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars of deals that they cannot even get in. So then in the return, Nvidia invests back into OpenAI, and then OpenAI invests in another company, and that cannot even have that, doesn't even have that money, and that company then invests back into OpenAI. So there's a money going on in these AI tech companies. There's a money circulation, but there's no money. It's literally like a Ponzi scheme, okay? There's money circling around. That $100 million are circling around. That invests in that invests in that invests in that, but there's no money going on. That's Ponzi scheme. This is serious stuff, guys. Like, nobody really talks about this. There are a few YouTube channels talking about this, and I will talk more in this, my new responsible AI channel, not here so much, so I will keep it for there, right? But you can still read everything about AI. I read this on my blog, okay? My website, draygenshahin.com/blog. I already write it there. So I don't want to mix that into this channel, but it will be a new channel, but I already write everything on my blog, okay? Articles. So you can read there. So the global economy, if we are still not paying attention in the elections, this will 100% will lead to civil war coming May next year. This is the final push, the final reset of the world. But we cannot allow this to go so haywire, and I think it kind of goes haywire, so that the next year people will so uprise. It's insane. Why? Let's move to healthcare. That's why. So in healthcare, what's going on is, since this year, the premiums have jacked up 6%. Next year, it will be further jacked up another 6%. So basically, the premiums this year, with 6% increase, it's nearly 27,000 per family. And then the projection is this will increase even further 2026 if cost management steps are not taken. Cost management meaning rising drug costs, everything I talked about in United Nations, guys. I cannot make this stuff up. I even mentioned this before seeing this in the news. So I already made the predictions and talked in the United Nations about the unbelievable drug prices. And then greater utilization of medical services and chronic illness burdens. Chronic illness, which is NCD, which is our topic at the United Nations, where we get the award for. And the chronic illness the burden on the economy is severe, especially especially about long COVID. Long COVID illness is no joke. There is depression, neurological issues, fatigue, zero energy, brain fog, short memory loss. These are all inflammation all over the body, pain due to inflammation in joints, joint pains. Those are severe and known facts of long COVID, all of which I had, which I thought was long COVID, and I was misdiagnosed, was nothing alike. I never had COVID. So the chronic illness and everything around it is such an important topic that many people not only not realize, but nobody talks about. And I don't understand why just medical people not talking about this. Then again, the second headline is Marketplace Insurance under the Affordable Care Act faces steep premium hikes unless subsidies are extended. I heard that tomorrow, November 1st, the Obamacare the marketplace will go out, will open, it will start with new premiums and the new prices tomorrow. So what are we waiting for? And I really, honestly, I do not see any kind of movement or kind of nervousness in people regarding these midterm elections. These are, if not the most important midterm elections in our lifetime. Why do I say in a lifetime? Because of the times we are living in. We never experienced this before. And what those are, I talked specifically those in the Sunday Live, so I don't want to mix those, but that's why. These are brand new times we never in our lifetimes experienced before. So that's why it is not alike the 2000s economic crashes, the 2008 economic crashes, the 2020 COVID crashes, economic crashes. This is the crashes or whatever it happened in economy that will lead to upheaval, uprise, civil war of people. That's what's happening. Okay, but that's why we have to be so cautious. The third headline is rising healthcare costs become political hot button ahead of the midterms. So they are still trying to really play with that, and they're actually playing politics with people's, with this type of serious stuff, with people's lives. Let's talk about the SNAP benefit, right? The SNAP benefits are actually now today, the federal judge said, excuse me, no, you must provide the SNAP benefit with emergency funds. That's what the judge said today, this afternoon. And already I see in my state, in my city, that how not only city, but also the state, two separate large foundations and the government, the city government, the state government, city and the state governments are now providing multi-million dollars for food insecurities, to give continue food for the people who are hungry. And this is insane. Now do you understand why Why people will uprise? Because of this. This is serious life stuff, right? And I want to mention something which I heard, and okay, this not in my agenda, but I just think about this right now, so I want to mention that. So, did you know that the billionaires, Mark Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, these multi-billionaires, they all, get this, have a bunker in their properties, including Mark Zuckerberg has a underground tunnel. So these multi-billionaires all know exactly what's going on and what will happen. They are smashing the world from left and right, but themselves know exactly that their bubble will so burst and they will be so in trouble, and they already created gigantic bunkers underneath their properties. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, those have heavily invested into land. Understand? In land, not technology. In land. Ivanka Trump found a company based on food as the government shut down the food for children in schools. And Ivanka Trump founded a company related to food. You might think, what the hell has a multi-billionaire tech guy, Mark Zuckerberg, or the multi-billionaire Microsoft guy, tech guy, Bill Gates, anything to do with land? I mean, it's not rocket science, yeah? Not only that, this will be another video, but I'll just tell you right now. Out of nowhere, Bill Gates says to the world, what climate change? What? There is no climate change. Nobody will get affected by climate change. What are you talking about? Excuse me? What are you talking about? Aren't you the one who said climate change and everything like this, like the world will go under? Now you have the land, and gigantic land, that is, like pretty much all the farms. He owns pretty much all the farms. Bill Gates has the food chains in his hand. And out of nowhere, we will have food stops, right? The food funding stops. But suddenly, I mean, before that happened, Bill Gates knew exactly that the food on this earth will be limited, because the climate change and all the crops and all it's just burning from the sun. No, there's no rain. There is no rain. It is too hot. It burns. It's non-stop burns. He knew exactly. That's why he invested in the farms. He owns acres and acres of farms, food. Bill Gates owned the whole shebang of vaccines. Now he will own all the foods. And out of the sudden, there's no money for food anymore from the government, of course. Nobody talks about this. Like, this is not rocket science, okay? Oh my goodness, Sarah! Yay! How are you? Oh my goodness. I was thinking of you all the time. Oh my goodness. Yay! How are you? I was thinking of you so much because I was like thanking you a billion times on our cancer channel for your great donation. I hope you saw them all. And I really, I still will send you your receipts and certificates, but we are still in the fundraising event. So, oh my goodness. So I hope you catch that all. I was so worried that, oh my God, I hope she knows that how much we grateful are for you. You're just so amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. Yay. So wonderful. Oh, so sweet. Yay. So we would like to see you on the Sunday live too. Oh, you're so sweet. I keep thinking about you all the time. So I'm so happy that you joined. So that's what I'm saying. This is not rocket science to really understand, to put 2 plus 2 together. And now Ivanka Trump out of a sudden has a food startup, right? What? What? And then Bill Gates says, no, there won't be any climate change or anything like that. It's party here. Yay. Nice, wonderful. So, and I wear my Halloween costume. Pink lady. So, no, just kidding. So, yeah, so that's, and then Bill Gates says that, and Mark Zuckerberg, his bunker is like a football field large. And beside the bunker, he has a gigantic underground tunnel. So they know. Then they asked, the reporter asked, I don't know, something wrong with Sam Altman. He looks like an, I don't know, alien or something. And his voice is like, when somebody talks like this, I feel really like, So, and the reporter asked, do you have a bunker? And he's like, I don't know if I have a bunker, but there's something like enhanced walls. So if you think like there's a bunker, sure, but it's like something like that. What? So there's something going on your property that you have no clue about? There will be a bunker in your property, and you're like, I don't know, like, yeah, whatever. What? You're talking about a bunker? Are you nuts? Like, it's just, or do you think we are so dumb? These people actually think we are dumb. And yes, there are dumb people, but you're on my channel, so we are not dumb. We don't buy it. So stop it. Okay? So this is the food stuff. The food, the climate crisis, and what have all of these in common? Not rocket science. We see through. Okay? So lastly, and very, very importantly, maybe the most importantly, I don't know what to say, because this is, when I saw the news, I was like, what's going on here? And that's Sudan. Okay, we'll talk about Sudan. 5406. And did you hear what's going on in Sudan? It's just 2 headlines. Rapid support forces says El Fasher in Darfur, mass atrocities reported. And the second headline is Sudan conflict triggers one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, hunger, displacement skyrocket. So if you don't know what's going on there, I am not too familiar of any of this. It's just only what I saw, what I read and saw is just, I don't know, these governments, the RSF, captured the city of El Fasher, North Darfur. And what they did was they attacked a maternity hospital and brutally killed 400 patients, women, and their visitors. Massacred. And I just, not only that, mass executions, sexual violence, detention of civilians, large-scale displacements. Does it sound familiar? And even the satellite images, you can see in the news, like that I saw in the article, the satellite views show the dead bodies. But it's just unbelievable. Oh my God, are you serious? Oh, be careful. I mean, he should be so careful. Oh my God. Because the Sudan thing is just unreal. Like, they literally massacred the people, 400 women in a maternity hospital, including the visitors, and in the satellite images you see the human bodies. That's how the world got to know about this, because the satellite images, they've realized, wait, this is like a body size, a human body size things around. And then when they zoom deeper in, that's how they find out what they did, because of the satellite images. And they raped, like, as they do this, okay? And the war, which began, get this, April 2023. Does it also sound familiar? Okay, has killed tens of thousands and displaced many millions in Darfur. And this is going on for 2 years, more than 2 years. Did we even hear about this? Tens of thousands are killed and millions are displaced. And now we hear about this? In Darfur and beyond, infrastructure collapse. Does it sound familiar? Attacks on hospitals. Does it sound familiar? And aid workers. Does it sound familiar? And siege warfare mean millions face acute food insecurity. Does it sound familiar? And lack of access to health care. Does this sound familiar? The El Fasher assault deepens the crises. I can cry right now, actually. You must go and look into. I mean, okay, they kind of blurred it, but not really. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I couldn't believe it. Exactly. And who talks about this? Who talks about this? They only got aware because of the satellite images showed something like human body size images, and they zoomed in. Oh yeah, and you see in the articles those images. And this morning, the second thing is world, why is 25-29 is Tanzania. And this I saw this morning. That's why I'm including this. Is that three headlines. Tanzania imposes curfew and cuts internet after election protests turn violent. So apparently, see, did you know? Believe me, I said it in February that there will be civil war. This is civil war. Because after their elections, if this still doesn't wake people up in this country on the 4th, I don't know what does. I don't know. The people turn violent after the elections. And there are like severely, like serious stuff going on there. Look, the second headline is opposition estimates hundreds to 700 killed in Tanzania's post-election unrest. UN confirms at least 10. Headline third is Tanzania election crisis highlights democratic backsliding amid growing authoritarianism. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound all I just said familiar? This is World War III. Not in a sense that the Trump administration literally straight up pushes us there with Venezuela. But this is the 21st century. This is the civil war worldwide. Top that with economic crisis, the final in our lifetime, from now until April. This is it. Oh, exactly. This is 21st century war. But in a different war. Did I say 2 years ago? We, the people. This is a time for the next 20 years. I don't want to go too much in here, but I talk more about this on the Sunday Lives because I don't want to mix the two. But you got, if you follow me there, you got the point what I'm trying to say. This is the next 20 years is like we, the people time. I said it 2 years ago. And now we will have the people. Top that with economic crisis and reset, the final reset. This is it. This is crazy. And I mean, also know that, right? The opposition there's some stuff going on there. And then in Turkey, the opposition leader was arrested, in jail currently, still in jail. Putin does this all the time. Now, Trump is really going in whatever direction, that kind of trying to arrest people who he believes is opposition, right? So this is like the world authoritarianism versus the people. Now write me in the chat, who will win this war? Giving what all I said for the last 2 years, who will win the war? Because you follow me, you know the answer. Others may not know, but you know. What's the answer? Who will win this next 4 to 6 years? I'm waiting right in the chat. Who will win the war? Let me do this. Let me see. There is like the sticker. Oh, I can do here. Poll. Start a poll. Okay, not the poll. Okay, who? Let me see this. Who will win the war? The Okay. Okay. Do you see it? Do you see the poll? Okay. Okay, here's the poll. Start the poll. Start the poll. Yeah. Yeah. Write the poll. So as you do the poll, I will drink some water. Who will win the war for the next 4 to 6 years? This is just the beginning. This is just the foreplay. This is just the overview. Not overview, but the preview. The real war is coming. So we have it says, can you, this says yes, no. I didn't say yes, no. Oh my God, sorry about this. Does it? Did you see it, yes or no? Oh my God, so sorry. I was writing. I guess it didn't come out. Oh, sorry about this. Hold on. This is like, let me do the new one. Sorry. Okay. This is the poll. Ah, God. Okay, how can I close this poll? Okay. I don't know how to close this. Oh, end the poll. Okay. Did it end? Yes. Now we'll start the poll. This is like the 4th time. Oh my God. Okay. This is the poll. Who will win the war? Who will win the war for the next 4 to 6 years? Who will win the war? From everything you know so far, my channel. So everything, when you follow me for some time, and after the vote, you write in the comments why you think that you just voted for. Let's discuss. Why do you think the government will win? Why do you think the people will win? Giving all of this, what I just talked about. Who will win the war for the next 4 to 6 years? Starting from next year, May, 4 to 6 years. It will get worse, way worse, before things turn around. Corruption will win temporarily. Very, very interesting. This is so interesting. Let me screenshot this before I lose this. So, Sarah, So this is so interesting. You're saying like there will be dip, will get worse, the corruption will win before the people will win. So I think that it's so interesting you said that, because this the last from now, this is so funny, this is so interesting. I don't want to mix this, but maybe we'll talk more on Sunday. Okay, let's talk about this on Sunday, because I don't want to mix this right now. But the election day, the 4th, is also a very important day for something which we'll discuss in the Sunday live. Yes, people are not paying attention. Oh my God. Yes, that's why I wanted to make this video, because every time we are close to a vote in the Congress or in the elections, I feel like I really have to do these videos, because this time I really don't feel like people are really understanding the severity of the matter. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like you, Sarah and Amber, both of you think like, it's like, most likely the governments will have like a more win. And well, Amber is hoping that the people win. Sarah is also like more positive that there was a possibility that people can win. But I'm telling you, people will win. But people will win in a way that, like Sarah, you also said, like from now, November, until April, there will be huge economy shakeup. There will be really, really some bubbles with bursting like in the open air. And I do hope that this will not happen. But I really also think that the people, as we see it, are just have enough. Like people are really suffering. And when is enough enough? Okay, enough is enough. And that the enough is enough with the kings and all that stuff. And you can also see that was the preview of in the last from May until now. How and why do I know that the people will win? Because I just mentioned in Sudan, right? Whatever happened in Sudan, does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? You know what I'm talking about, right? What happened? And it started the same time, 2 years ago. Nobody knew, okay? But, and the identical way. But nobody knew about it. Why? It's in Africa. Who cares, right? But what happened from May until now, what happened? The people, for the first time after 2 years, the entire world said, excuse me, you can't do that, right? Yes, people, the entire world in the United Nations declaring, you can't do that. Stop it. We will not support you. Even the countries you would never think a million years would say that. They did. Wasn't this a shocker? It was a shocker. Not for me, because I knew that's the power of people. The humanity will win. That's because the time is that time. Yes, that's the preview. That was the preview. That time is now gone. It will not come back until next May. And until that time, we are going back to 2 years ago, and now you see exactly what's happening. No ceasefire. Suddenly, there was a ceasefire until there wasn't. Identical timeline, I told you. And until next May, there will be no ceasefire. And that time, and during this time, we have to be careful that we are not starting war with Venezuela. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, suddenly Trump's interaction with Russia was like, we will sanction you, no oil sales anymore. Like, whoa, what? That's the whole economy shaking like crazy. These are serious stuff. And until May, we have to be very cautious. Top that with the economy. But from May onwards, for the next 4 to 6 years, that's what we see come back, what we saw in the preview. We, the people. Very, very interesting times if we are awake. That's why I do these videos, to bring you a different angle that nobody talks about. But, and again, which progressive, either side progressive, talks about Sudan? What happened in Sudan? Which news outlet talked about that? I haven't heard. I saw it on my phone because I followed the news every single minute. And so screw all of these media and, I don't know, alternative, whatever, progressive media. It's like, they don't get it. They actually don't get it. No historical background, no scientific background, no economic, like the global view background, knowledge, understanding. And also another level, it's just not rocket science. So I really, really am glad that you follow me and you learn about this stuff. And yeah. So very, very excited to share with you this, guys. So happy that we were able to discuss. I appreciate Hamza for the question about the history of how Israel burned. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you. I'm so happy that you came on today. Oh my God. And what do I want to say? Yeah, so Hamza, that he brought this up about the history. I always for years, I want to make that video. Now it's out. Yes, I'm so excited about that. So, and he was also happy that I talked about this history that apparently nobody really knows about. And so that's really, really important to understand the history and really deep knowledge so that you can assess what's going on. Without knowledge, what can you assess? You can just follow the mainstream, but that's what we are not doing here, because we are powered by knowledge, right? So thank you so much, guys. Amber and we are celebrating because we finished the 30-day Journal With Me challenge. Yay! And we got our certificate. Amber, I literally download my certificate to sell. It's so nice. I'm like, oh yay. And I will print that tomorrow and get it framed. And I will show all of you guys. And I hope, Sarah, you can join us. It will be so amazing to have you. We had so much fun with Amber. So nice and deep and so relaxing and easy and flowing and nothing challenging at all. Super excited every day to come and to chat live. It was so great. Yay! Thank you so much. It was so cool. Yes, I'm so happy that you watched them. Yes, if you missed them, it's so. Thank you so much for that. Congrats, Amber. Absolutely, congrats, Amber. And you did such a great job every single day. And she was literally like on point, on the day, on the minute. She was literally every day on the minute on the Zoom call. And then I joined in oftentimes, usually I would, like start, right? And then every time Amber is there and she's waiting and she's so sweet. And congrats, Amber, again. Congrats to me again. We did such a great job. And Amber, stay tuned with your emails. We will schedule that, what we talked about. And Sarah, also stay tuned to your emails. You will also definitely get your receipt for your donation, so your kind donation, and something else as well. It's so happy that all your kindness. And I have some good news. And today we got the great news that I applied. Remember, Sarah, I talked about that live stream that I was wanted to create a fundraiser for a cancer organization, but it wasn't in the list of YouTube. And I applied that day, Sarah. I really applied that day. And guess what? Today we got the approval that now our cancer organization is on the YouTube list of fundraisers, and every YouTube channel about 10,000 will be able to make a fundraiser for cancer organization. And this is just so exciting. So I will definitely reach out to the people, I don't know, YouTubers who have a great audience, like, more than 10,000. Yay, thank you so much. I'm so excited. It was such a great news for me. Like, was the final touch for Friday. Was so awesome. So also our cancer organization's YouTube channel almost has 10,000 subscribers. So please tell everybody to subscribe to our cancer channel, Cancer at Institute, so that we reach almost really close to hit 10,000. So once we had to 10,000, we are able to do our own fundraisers. Imagine that on YouTube. That would be so awesome. Yay. Amber, you're so amazing. Thank you for this. This is awesome. Oh my God. I will have not. Oh yeah, please. It's Cancer at Institute. Literally just go there. And guys, everything you need to know about healthy lifestyle, healthy food, all my tips and tricks about food and healthy food, and all the nonsense in the media about food and misinformation, I debunk all of them. All my videos regarding health, healthcare, cancer prevention, everything you need to know is all there. And definitely check out the breast exam. It's one of the most popular ones, the breast examination. And that's so important. So that video, definitely check out and spread that to everybody. And if you know young men, the self-testicle examination, that's also one of our most popular ones. Spread those out. Gotta schedule that before the end of the year. Oh yeah, absolutely. Trusted source. Yeah, absolutely. This you should definitely, guys, check that. And I really love that you guys say this. So yeah, all of the information regarding the snacks that you need to eat in a healthy way, how you should eat that, regarding protein, carbohydrates, and also fats, what the snacks look like, and sugar and cancer relationship, and the science that nobody talks about until to date. Nobody, no MD ever, I've never heard an MD ever even talking about really knowing the real correlation between cancer and sugar. I cannot make this stuff up. I literally wrote the article in 2014, and until to date, nobody ever, any cancer organization included, is not talking about it. So definitely check those out and spread the word to everybody. Everything regarding healthy lifestyle, diet, exercises, cancer prevention, cancer types, it's all on our channel. That's why I don't talk so much about that stuff here, because we already talked about there. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. I had such a fun. You guys are being here, my favorite people, Amber, Sarah, and Hamza. Thank you so much for the question. It was awesome. Hope you'll come back, and I will see you guys on Sunday live, 10 a.m. Eastern. Sending so much love. Happy Halloween. Enjoy, guys. Celebrate. Amber, I will celebrate. Sarah, hopefully you celebrate too. Woohoo! Take care, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.